Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 71-year-old Massachusetts resident Jacquelyn Starer told an acquaintance that she was prepared for January 6th. This was prior to the Capitol attack. Starer said that she would be wearing a mesh knife-proof shirt and she was going to be carrying bottles of pepper spray. On January 6th, Starer headed to the Capitol after watching Donald Trump's speech, and she was seen outside the rotunda doors. And this was when another member of the mob yelled through a bullhorn and warned everyone, if you go inside, you're going to be arrested. So this person advised, you might want to get out. Starer ignored that warning. She forced her way inside the Capitol. The alarms were blaring at the time, so she knew damn well she was not allowed inside. Starer joined a large group that had gathered in the Capitol Rotunda, and that's where she assaulted a female officer. So the situation started because a large contingent of officers started moving the crowd towards the exit. They held their batons sideways and they were using them to push the mob. Well, Starer shoved her way through the crowd to reach the front of the police line. So she went the opposite way that they were telling her to go. And then she got in their faces. She was yelling at them. She was seen on video. She was pointing towards a hallway behind them, which led to the office of Speaker Nancy Pelosi, or at that time she was the speaker. So another member of the mob actually tried to intervene. It was a man, and he moved in between Starer and the police, and he was facing Starer, and he had his arms out like as if he was trying to corral her and move her away from them. But instead of retreating, she pushed against this man, and then she shoved his arm down. Then Starer moved around him, and she started pushing against a female officer. So she's pushing against her with her body. The officer pushed Starer back, and that's when Starer hit the officer with a closed fist in the head. All of this was captured on video, by the way. It was all captured on body cam. So Starer moves back at that point, and she yelled at the officer, "Fucking bitch." And then when she moved back toward the officer again, the officer hit Starer. So at that point, specifically because of Starer's attack, the crowd just got more amped up. They started pushing against the police. They're yelling. They're saying, that this officer is going to start a riot, as if it already wasn't. And then one member of the mob grabbed that same female officer's baton and started scuffling with her over it. So it caused that officer to lose her balance, and she fell backwards. She fell down a flight of stairs. So because of all this, the crowd, becoming more aggressive, the police deployed pepper spray. So that's what finally caused Starer to exit the building. So she was seen pouring water in her eyes as she was leaving, and then she was seen standing on the Capitol steps. Her face was all red. So the following day, Starer shared a video from the Capitol on her Parler account. And in this video, she's heard saying, quote, "Well, they've just tear gassed everybody in front of after they killed a girl inside, apparently. Now the cops are tear gassing Americans. These people are going to be back tonight, I'm pretty sure." So she was videotaping or recording a bunch of people who were at the Capitol, and she was meaning like these protesters, these Trump supporters and rioters, insurrectionists are going to come back tonight. So Starer was arrested on December 20th of 2022, and she was charged with civil disorder, assaulting officers, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 2 counts of physical violence, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. In April of 2024, Starer did something that's really rare. She pleaded guilty to all of the charges without a formal plea agreement. So she faced up to a combined 17 and a half years in prison, 24 years of probation, and $815,000 in fines. Now, the prosecutor requested only 27 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And they were willing to give her a break because, number one, she's a longtime physician, or she was. She had no criminal history before this time, and she had accepted responsibility for her crimes. And in addition to her guilty plea, she actually agreed to voluntarily give up her medical license in 2023. So that was shortly after she was arrested. In a sentencing memo to the court, Starer's attorney wrote, quote, "Her inability to do the work she loves so much has left a very large hole in her life, which she struggles to fill." I mean, as I always ask, was it worth it? Right? These people gave up so much for Trump. They gave up their freedom, their careers, time with their family and friends. I mean, all based on lies, all based on a complete lie, and for a man who would not piss on them if they were on fire. Anyway, so at the sentencing hearing, Starer referred to her assault of the officer as a, quote, regrettable encounter. And Starer told the judge, quote, "I accept full responsibility for my actions that day, and I truly wish reason had prevailed over my emotions." Now, the officer that she assaulted was in court, and at one point, Starer turned around to apologize to her, and the officer stopped her, and she asked, quote, "Do you really take responsibility for your actions, or are you just going to say it wasn't my fault, fight or flight?" Guess the cop has heard that before, right? So anyway, U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly presided over Starer's case, and he told her, quote, "You're a very educated person, a person with a lot of life experience. I can't explain why you were trying to get into the bowels of the Capitol like a heat-seeking missile." So Judge Kelly added, quote, "That's a pretty ominous thing given the threat to the physical safety of our members of Congress." And then he asked Starer where she was trying to go, and she replied, quote, "The short answer is, I don't know." Okay. So in the end, Judge Kelly sentenced Starer to 9 months in prison and 2 years of probation, and she was ordered to pay $2,000 in restitution and $2,000 as a fine. Decent, I guess, especially for this Trump-appointed judge. And I will give Starer credit for not wasting the court's time. I mean, most of these January 6 defendants, they, claim innocence until the last second, until they realize they're completely screwed because the video evidence is just overwhelming. So at least she's an honest criminal. And again, guess who won't be voting for Trump in November? And guess who now has a felony on her record, or multiple felonies? So good times. Anyway, I'll let you know if I hear any more about Starer. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with everyone you know, become a subscriber if you have not. If you can donate, truly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.